You know, John, I've gone through doors where I was reasonably certain somebody on the other side was armed with a gun. It is a unique feeling, and today's officers in today's video did a phenomenal job in the face of great danger.
Hi friends, welcome to today's badge cam lesson here at Active Self-Protection. I'm your host, John Correa.
I'm your co-host, Mike Willover. Today's video comes to us from Sacramento, California.
Wilderness Tactical has been around for longer than the gun you're carrying has been, and they have been making high quality products for concealed carriers for literally decades. I wear their low pro belt every year. The webbing is the best in the industry, and I won't wear anything else. If you're looking for a good CCW belt, check them out. This began as a disturbed person, like a mental wellness check, that officers made contact with this guy who then had a sword out, wouldn't let his wife and kids lead. So we have a barricaded person with hostages. That started an 8-hour standoff with crisis negotiators. They got SWAT there, HRT, because they want to end this peacefully. What you're going to hear here in just a second, though, is him escalate the problem and then launch the HRT. Let's listen in.
Talk to me. You can take out your frustration and anger on me. Don't focus it on...
I believe in God, and I believe in God if you are believing.
Okay, Lincoln 8. He's yelling at her. It sounds like he may be attacking her. Stand by. Lincoln 8.
Isaiah,
HRT launch.
You're scaring the kids. You don't have to do this.
Hey, strip picture. White feet, white feet, white feet, white feet, white feet. Key. Affirm, we're moving now. Ran it. Other way. ASL. On me. Right here. Ram. Police! Back up. Yep. On the ground. Ram. Police! Back up. Yep. One. On the ground. On your stomach. Near your fucking stomach. All right. You got it. Somebody have any cuffs? I got him. Somebody have any cuffs? Off the bed. I got you. Off the bed. Grab the baby. You got him. Hey, get Jack Clock out of here. Hey, is he hit? Yeah, he's hit. Hey, get, medic. Hey, let's roll him over. I got obvious leg injury. Lay down. Shears? You got shears? I got shears. All right. Here. Lay down. Turn your head right here. Hold on. No, you're not moving your legs, bud. Trying to help you.
Amazingly, this perp actually lived, though he was shot a couple of times with 223. They did offer him medical aid. He is facing a couple of charges of false imprisonment. Nobody else was harmed in this one.
Mike, I think it's about time to start making patches for the Special Pants Brigade.
Agreed. Leave your suggestions in the comments, please, for what that might look like.
Mike, what a difficult job here on the HRT, that for 8 hours you're gonna sit around kind of cooling your jets, dealing with your adrenal fatigue, and then at a moment's notice have to change from that to let's go save some lives.
John, you know what SWAT stands for, right?
Well, everyone would say...
Sit, wait, and
yes,
talk.
Yeah, right. Sit, wait, and talk. Absolutely.
Sit, wait, and talk that's kind of a running joke with SWAT teams. I think it's worth noting that this team is called a hostage rescue team. So I don't know if Sacramento has a dedicated part of their SWAT for hostage rescue, but that's a very interesting thing. I know the FBI started hostage rescue back in the day, and they're kind of the model for it. And these guys are pretty locked on. But I got to tell you, all that waiting around, all of that hearing the kids crying, hearing the wife begging for help for hours, hearing this guy's threats, it wears on you. And the fact that they were able to step up in this moment and jump into action as quickly and efficiently as they did was really impressive. You cannot understate how important, you can't overstate how important that ability to go through all that the range of emotions and staying up all night and being tired, but still being able to do this sort of thing is well above average.
And then being willing to just jump in there and go, nope, the hostage's life are worth more than mine, so I'm going to go take the risk, and it's time to go. I think just a super well-organized team here. Obviously, this is a SWAT team, an HRT. These guys are well-trained, and their training shows through. Now, again, the Ram guy here is just, well, all right, I'll be first right up at the door with no gun in my hand because I'm on the Ram. Guys, you got to protect me. And now they see this guy. Okay, this marksmanship, I think here, again, we've got hostages. Our HRT has been launched because he said it's time to die. Okay, you got to shoot this guy. It's pretty easy shooting problem, right? I mean, 7 yards with a rifle, not the world's greatest shooting problem. What I want to talk about here, Mike, is I think there's a great case that all people should have a suppressor on their home defense rifle because you don't want to blow everybody else's hearing out, especially your loved ones, and you hear the difference here when you've got a can on your rifle.
Absolutely, it's a totally different sound. I've heard an AR platform gun go off without hearing protection by accident one time. Outside in a wide open range, and it was absolutely the last time that'll ever happen to me because it was just awful. My ears were ringing for a long time. I can't even imagine inside a home in a small confined space like this. It would have been terrible. Let me just backtrack for 1 second here, John, and talk about these guys don't know what's going to be on the other side of that door, and they have a split second once that door comes open to make a determination, to get the lay of the land and make a decision as to what to do. Because people's lives are in danger, and I gotta say, if you go back and watch the initial video over again, folks, and see how quickly they were able to size up what was happening and make a life or death decision, it is wildly impressive. And that comes from training. That comes from these guys going through thousands of scenarios, thousands of hours of training together, so they kind of can know what each other will do before anything even happens. So well done with that part of it.
I really think we can't hit that hard enough, Mike, that, you know, again, that adage is you will not rise to the occasion, you will fall to the level of your training, and these guys are highly trained on purpose. They spend a lot of time working on this stuff so that when it all comes down, they are able to do the right thing. And in that right thing is to discern here. Here's a suspect wielding a sword. Here are the family members. Here's the threat that we have to stop right now. We have been launched into this because 8 hours of negotiation has ended in this guy telling his family while the hostage negotiator is listening that it's time to die. No, friend, we are not going to let you kill your wife and your child, and so I'm going to dive in here and make that happen in split seconds. So I know that, you know, most of our viewers are not law enforcement. I'm not law enforcement. You're retired law enforcement. And so we're not going to get the level of training that these SWAT guys are. But it is, I think, a great reminder that training is critical because you won't rise to the occasion unless you've been trained to respond in a particular way. And that training must be recent, it must be relevant, and it must be realistic. And these guys had it, and kudos to them.
I think the most important part for private citizens is recent. I know a lot of people in my orbit that are CCW holders that don't train other than to go qualify, however, every year or 5 years or whatever it is. And that's not really going to be enough. Shooting a gun is kind of like speaking a foreign language. If you don't speak it for 5 years, and all of a sudden now you need to explain something very complicated to someone, you're going to have a hard time figuring out the words. You have to translate in your head. Same goes for this kind of skill. You're not going to be able to just all of a sudden be a crack shot if you haven't picked up your gun in a year, 2 or 3, and haven't rehearsed and practiced this sort of thing. However, these guys obviously train all the time, and I'm going to go out of my way and guess there's probably a TAC medic on this team, which is one of the reasons why this guy probably made it, because you've been shot a couple of times, however many times it was, with an AR platform rifle. It's gonna leave an impression. It's gonna leave some pretty bad wound channels on you. So thank God they had someone in there who knew what he was doing to tend to this guy as quickly as they did.
Yeah, finally, the one thing I would say in this too is kudos to these officers for being professionals. That, this guy's been making him wait around for 8 hours. He's a threat to his family. It would have been real easy to despise him, but they're professionals. They put the threat down, immediately get him into cuffs. Let's get some medics on him right now. And they instantly turn that attitude from stopping a threat to saving a life. And I think that's indicative of a high level of professionalism. These guys, I think all are members of the Special Pants Brigade and deserve our utmost commendation. Great job, guys, of protecting these people and covering your ass.